Okay. Joining me now is Senator Adam Schiff of California. I don't even know what else to say other than I'm so sorry. California is such a wonderful, wonderful place. My sister lives in Los Angeles. My son lives in California. I just love this state. Talk a little bit about what your constituents are dealing with.
Well, I hope your family is okay.
They are. Thank you.
It's just awful, the devastation and the loss of life and the loss of property. I've been on the phone today with people who lost their homes. One of my staff lost her home, and we don't see the end in sight. I was there yesterday in California and could feel those extraordinary winds that are just whipping up this fire. Even then, I hoped that the situation would be better today, and it's so much worse. Heading back in the morning, we are getting a lot of help, and I thank President Biden for jumping on this so quickly. This must be one of the fastest disaster declarations that I can remember, but it's appropriate. This is, I think, the worst fire disaster that I can recall in the southern half of our state. But we're getting help from other states. We're getting help from other parts of California. And still, firefighters are really stretched thin. They're exhausted. I got off the phone just an hour ago with the L.A. County Fire Chief and thanked him for what his department is doing. I think I speak for all of us when I express the gratitude for those folks who are putting themselves in harm's way. But it's just brutal to realize how many people are displaced. The mayor of Pasadena was telling me that they have 100,000 people have been evacuated just from one of the fires. Mm-hmm. They have another 70 or 80,000 who are on notice that they may need to evacuate. So you also have huge parts of L.A. being displaced. Yeah. But I just don't remember anything like it.
I mean, seeing an entire city wiped off the map, and you know, it's so tragic to watch that happen here. Jacob's town is gone. You know, the rebuilding effort, he mentioned there's going to have to be a federal response. I mean, this is the wiping of entire communities off the map. At the moment, the response is in the hands of Joe Biden, who happened, coincidentally, to be in California. He is becoming a great-grandfather. He was there also to designate some indigenous land, you know, back to giving it to its rightful owners and doing things that are positive. In about 13 days, the federal response will pass into the hands of someone very different, somebody who's banging on about why weren't leaves being raked and about water not dripping right out of the faucets, and who's already, you know, blamed, you know, Democrats, blamed President Biden. I'm sure he's blaming you since he's got a special thing for you, rather than being an adult. He'll be in charge of the federal response. What kind of help can California expect to get from someone like him?
Well, it's a good question. These fires obviously are impacting everyone, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, independent, doesn't matter. All of us are in this together. And one of the things that has been just so apparent in talking to people that have lost their homes is not only did they lose their home, they lost their whole neighborhood. Yeah. All of their neighbors' homes were wiped out. We've seen other fires in L.A. where it was very horribly idiosyncratic. One house would be burned. All the others around it would be fine. This fire is different. They're just all getting wiped out where this fire is blazing. And the president has swiftly acted on this. There'll be resources people can find out about on the FEMA website about how to get reimbursed and get immediate help with lodging and other necessities. But I shudder to think what will happen if we don't have a president that views us all as Americans, not some to be punished and others to be rewarded in natural disasters. We've just never had a president like that. We had it once, we're having it again. Mm-hmm. But I would hope that the incoming president realizes that this affects his supporters as well as anyone else. We're all equally devastated by this, and the federal government is going to need help. And I'll add one other part of the devastation, which we don't know yet. But in talking to the mayor of Pasadena, he was saying that some of the residents, maybe a lot of the residents in the Eaton fire area, were having trouble insuring their homes. Some couldn't get their homes insured. Others, the insurance premiums went up so high they decided not to continue to carry the insurance because they couldn't afford it. So they may be left with nothing. And so there are going to be a lot of people who are going to need help. They're going to need help from a Democratic president or a Republican president. I know Senator Padilla and I are determined to do everything we can to make sure they get the resources they need. Governor Newsom, the same. We're committed to all of our constituents, regardless of party. And
we hope, we can only hope that your colleagues in the Senate majority feel the same way. We've seen in natural disasters in the past, they don't always do, but we're going to hope that we'll hope better and think better of them until we get information otherwise.